right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, we recording?
We are on.
All right, we will edit that part out. Ready?
No, we won't.
Okay.
We will not edit that because
All right, here we go. Hi everyone. This is Yooper product reviews, and we're today we're going to be doing the Fender acoustic single cut.
That is a CD-60 model.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was a CD-60. I remember that.
So yeah,
they sold that to me.
So this was a good buy by Mr. Ashley over here. Got this at a not a clearance sale, but just like a what was it, summer?
That was
summer sale.
Yeah, they were having I think it was a spring sale, and I picked that up. It's used, but it only been used very lightly. I mean, there wasn't even a scratch on the pick guard. It was so lightly used.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that. I got a really good deal on that. Paid less than $200 for that. Retail, if you're gonna go on like Musician's Friend or Guitar Center and buy that right now, it's probably like $300. So I got an insanely good deal on it.
Yeah, probably $300 to $400 because it is a electric acoustic. Obviously, you have the EQ here. You got your lows, mids, highs, and your master volume, and then actually there's an onboard tuner, which is definitely a plus with some of these things.
Right.
But I think some of the things that are buying out the whole onboard tuning system is the snarks that everybody keeps picking up today.
Snarks are awesome.
Snarks are definitely where it's at because you don't need any sound at all. I mean, you don't need any sound for this either. But the thing is, where the hell is it? This side, sorry. We've had a couple beers. All right. So, anyways, on this side there is a too low, too high, and just right. Whereas on the snark there's a whole there's 100 little different areas of too low, too high, and it moves as you're tuning it. So
even not that this is supposed to be a tuner review, but I have a couple other tuners, and the snark is it's so easy to get it dialed right in there. I feel like on other ones they're just not as, I don't know. The snark is sensitive, but not overly sensitive to the point where you keep going past the tuning and you have to keep readjusting. I feel like with the snark you can just go right to it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So anyways,
I really like that guitar. I think it's a great guitar. It's pretty solid. Guitar. I really like the cutout. Cutout's awesome
because you can get into the high notes.
Yeah.
If you are so inclined.
Super shredder.
Yeah.
Which I'm not.
So if you want to get into the high notes, you can without, because normally you wouldn't have a cutout on this model right here. So you got this big chunk of meat kind of blocking your hand from getting, and you have a tendency to do this if you want to play the high notes, whereas this, it's cut out so you can get in there.
And so what we wanted to do is compare this guitar, which is, I'm not going to say it's a higher end guitar, but it's more higher end than this one.
I just spilled beer all over myself.
This is actually a Rogue acoustic, which is, I think is the house brand from Musician's Friend. I actually got this through Guitar Center. Guitar Center was actually a whole $10 cheaper, and they had free shipping. Which then I had to wait a month because they had it on back order. But this guitar was only $50 delivered to my door, and I wanted a guitar that I could just take anywhere and not have to worry about it getting beat up, or if somebody drops it, or if it's if you gotta rest something against the wall and it falls down. So that's why I got this, and I'm gonna at one point, hopefully, I'm going to try and kind of relic this thing out and make it look kind of badass. But I gotta tell you, for only $50, this guitar is pretty damn nice.
Yeah, it really is. I've seen a lot of guitars that definitely go for around that price, and they sound pretty just. There's really no other word for it than just cheap, like a cheap sounding guitar. Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, it sounds pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, and once you start getting up here higher in the neck, it doesn't have a. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. It doesn't have a compensated bridge here, but it still sounds pretty good up until about the 12th fret. But you can't really use anything past it anyway, unless you got some really spidery fingers here, but
like these mitts that I got too, right? These alien gorilla fingers.
And yeah, I actually find myself picking this one up and playing it a lot more than I do that one. So
but I find
I don't
myself,
really know why.
and I'm a huge Fender fan, but I'm not biased or anything. I do, like appreciate the sound of other things. Les Pauls suck, but like, but I definitely find myself picking up this one actually even more so than my other Fender acoustic, which isn't a single cutout. It is not a cutout at all. And
It's just full body like this one.
Yeah, it's just full body like
Similar
this.
size.
Which offers you a pretty good EQ sound, which is very broad, very tinny highs, but very low lows, and the mids are kind of scooped. But this one actually has a little bit more high end on it, and that actually happens when you cut this out. If anybody knows a biography on Eddie Van Halen, he actually went to town on a Strat, or not a Strat, a Flying V that he had, and he cut off a section of it because it was getting in the way on his waist when he was playing, and it totally hashed the tone. So when you start cutting out wood on a guitar, it actually affects the tone. It's like messing around with these knobs, except you're amputating the guitar. So, but this one actually is a little bit more higher end.
Yeah,
I like it a little bit like that.
Couple big differences is this is obviously a cheaper guitar. The tuners on here are they're a little janky.
Yeah,
they don't stay quite.
They
don't tune quite as well.
That's one thing that happens when you what I've noticed actually from working on guitars is that equipment actually doesn't work as well as you would think. Like things like capstans, machine heads, they grind and stuff like this. Whereas if you have higher end,
they're a little loose. Whereas these are like nice and smooth.
Nice and
And there is you probably can't pick it out on the camera, but there's actually like it looks like a piece of wood was like a sliver snapped off right here. It actually makes it easier for me to play for certain things, which is kind of cool. I'm actually thinking about like modifying all my guitars now to get a little more. But other than that, if I scratched the name off of this, you probably couldn't tell it was a cheap guitar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you could probably mess around with something and be like, yeah, it's a Fender, man.
Yeah, you totally could.
It's a blind thing.
Unless you really start to look close, like if you were to go and compare this to an Esteban, I've played some Esteban. Those
don't fall for infomercials.
The Esteban's pretty janky compared to this. This is actually pretty solid. It's not nearly as good as that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like playing this.
Also, the other thing too is that this neck is rosewood, whereas this is ebony. If anybody knows anything about necks, rosewood offers a more warm tone, whereas things like ebony offer a little bit more of everything range. Maple wood boards get a little bit more tinnier sounding, but I mean Fender likes the brighter sounding, so they kind of balance it out with rosewood on a lot of the guitars.
So anyway,
want to play something?
Well, I don't know.
Nice. The beer's getting to him.
I've only been playing for about a year, so I'm not very good.
That's all right. I've only been playing for 15.
Well, how about this? Let's play a couple chords just to see if we can hear the actual difference. I'll point a little bit more at the camera.
All right, sounds good.
So, let's just start with a G.
Sounds good.
So play a G, and
right,
I'll
ready?
play a G. Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Okay, you want to do it?
No, I don't want to do them at the same time.
Okay.
But this does have a little bit heavier gauge strings, and these are elixirs, so that might have a little bit to do with the sound difference. And these are just the basic strings that came with it. So
nano web, not poly web, by the way.
Right, nano web. And so, all right, I'm gonna play a G, and then you play a G, and we can see if we can hear the difference. Right. So.
So there's a G there.
Pretty good sustain too. I mean.
Yeah, definitely. All right, now here's a G on this one. So you can definitely tell this one. Like,
that one's got. It seems like it has a little more like
mid-rangey. Yeah, it's like mid-rangey. So, so yeah.
All right, now let's do a D.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Yours is brighter.
But these are non-coated strings, so
they're it's true. So then here's a D on this one.
Oh, that's way louder.
Oh yeah, definitely way louder.
That's definitely way different.
That's another thing.
Let me try it again.
Construction.
Let me try it again. Yeah.
Do a little bit of Jane Says if you wanted to. So, yeah, that's like I was saying, like Ebony necks like offer like a whole like kind of equaled out sound range, but obviously you can tell this one's like warmer sound. Like I said, it's warmer sounding. You can hear it.
It does
compared to this one, you know.
And maybe if there's a little bit different strings on here, it might sound a little different, but I think you're gonna get basically the same sound.
Yeah.
With different strings, you're gonna get a little change, but with this, you're gonna get a little change.
And obviously, compared back to back, you can hear it. You know, you're not gonna play it in the store and go, you know, this sounds a little bit more mid-rangey, and then you got to hear it back to back. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd say for $50, great guitar, great buy.
Knock around.
I would recommend anybody buy this guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially a beginner. Oh man.
Yeah.
$50, even if you never play it again, who cares?
like how they sell those, you know, Strat packs and stuff. Which actually, I think you bought this.
I got my first guitar.
The Squire Strat pack.
Yep.
You can be a rock star.
But I'm still working on it. But the CD-60, the Fender cutout, also a great guitar. I have absolutely zero issues with that guitar. A little bit of buzz towards the 12th fret, but
we are in northern Michigan.
It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
And we can probably work that out.
Humidity goes.
If we just did a little fine tuning on it.
Those are things you're gonna find with any guitar, pretty much.
Overall, both are great guitars.
Yeah.
Great acoustic electric. If you want to get an acoustic electric, I'd say by all means.
That's the other thing too, is I've played a couple of like gigs with this, just like open mics and stuff, and actually. I think I did play one gig with it, but I can't remember. So he lets me borrow his guitars just for funsies.
Even though you have an acoustic electric.
Yeah, even though I have an acoustic, which is a Takamine, which is another product review that we'll do, I'm sure, in the future. We should have bought that.
Maybe we should have did those. We'll do that in another.
Those strings have cobwebs falling off.
Wow, we'll put some new strings on and
so
we'll do it.
So it's not an accurate review.
Alright. So,
but either way, overall, this is a great sounding guitar. I'd recommend it to anybody. This one is definitely a good sounding guitar for a knock-around guitar. Nobody takes their Corvette off-roading, so, you know.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a really great point.
Don't take this and throw it in the back of your guitar or your car.
I mean, it's not a $5,000 Martin, but
yeah. You wouldn't just throw it in the back with the other
to some
ones.
people that might be a cheap guitar. And anyway, let's should we end this and come back another time?
Yeah, let's end it.
Okay.
Let's end it. So.
All right, so this is the first edition of Yooper product reviews. Expect more in the future.
Absolutely, especially on guitars and guitar equipment.
Guitar equipment. All right, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. And that's the end of that one. And
play them out.